Hi, I'm Christy Janica. I am a mom to an almost 11-year-old boy. I'm an author, coach, and social worker. I'm super excited to talk to you about the things that I know can help you not just remove alcohol, but really change your life without changing all the things in your life. One of the biggest things I hear people say is, I don't want to lose my social life. I don't want to feel like I'm like the odd one out. I don't want to feel judged. And this is super important because changing identities is crucial for going alcohol free. What does that mean? So there's going to be a part of you, and I'm sure this has already happened to you. You might be working through this, that knows that alcohol is not serving you. It's not helping you. You want to quit it. But then there's this other part that on occasion wonders, is this worth it? Maybe I can moderate. Maybe I can just have one. And you may be out with your significant other or your friends, and it can be sometimes a little hard to work through this. Or you have the summers or things that seem a little bit of a challenge to you, and you're kind of like perplexed because one part of you really wants this, and the other part of you like seems to be kind of like stuck per se. And the one biggest thing is you're not going to always feel ready to do the hard things, right? There's going to be birthdays, there's going to be vacations, there's going to be things in your life that are always going to be there. And so it's not necessarily like feeling deprived, it's working through those things so you can still enjoy going out. But I'm going to tell you this, when we work on these types of things I'm talking about, your identity changes, your boundaries change, and you kind of like almost wake up. You have an awakening of what you really like, what you don't like, and what you want to expand on. Because what a lot of people do is they focus on what they're giving up versus focusing on the things that they might not actually really enjoy, but they've been quote unquote like, you know, doing it with not knowing that they don't enjoy it. So, like going out buzz, when you stop drinking, do you want to be out as late? Do you get kind of annoyed with the people you're hanging out with, maybe at a specific time? Do you need to add more to your life? It's not necessarily about deprivation and like removing all the things that are fun. It's how we look at things. If you're looking at things as this stinks, I'm giving up all these things, my relationships, blah, 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 my change, these are valid things that we need to work through. It's not that you aren't allowed to have those things, but part of it is number one is rewiring the desire. You have to understand that since we came into this world, alcohol is very, very glamorized, seen as what all normal adults do. And so when you find that the alcohol's not working, you often go internal and to see what's wrong with me. Why can't I do this? What the heck? Why are other people okay? And you have a lot of shame, regret, remorse. You also don't feel really good. I mean, let's be honest, as we age, I'm in my 40s. Alcohol disrupts your sleep, it creates inflammation. It is a class one carcinogen that's a toxin. So there are like legit reasons why you feel like crap. And if you're someone that likes to take care of yourself, you value your health, it's going to feel really confusing. And you're going to hear people say balance, but having like two cocktails can be too much for one person, depending on how much is in it. Did you eat a lot that day? Maybe, time of the cycle. There's so many factors that go into balance that it's almost harder to moderate alcohol, in my opinion, than it is to stop it. And I'm not saying you need to say forever. We don't say that because that makes our brain like feel like it's like there's scarcity and we have to do this forever. It's saying like I choose my health and well-being. I'm just going to do this and see how I feel. So if you are programmed to think that alcohol is going to help you, make you feel good, it's glamorized, like I said, and also it's like sophistication. You see commercials where people are at the bars just chilling, looking happy. People are clinking glasses, having connection. You're seeing all this and assuming, even though you might not know this, you're assuming alcohol helps with those things. So when you remove alcohol, you have a lot of thoughts that you don't even know that are going on that are deeper into the surface. All of this is much deeper than people realize, which is why willpower will never work for you. Because if you think that alcohol is helping you feel fun, it makes things more meaningful, it creates more happiness and you're more excited, or it helps you relax and it helps you, you know, like at the end of the week, you get something to look forward to. And if you don't understand the deeper parts of that, it will be hard. And again, it's going to feel not so good. So if you think, let's say example, alcohol's fun. And then we're going to question that. Is it fun? Who taught you that? Because honestly, a lot of things that we believe that we have learned are actually not truth, right? When you learn those things, you're going to understand why when you start looking at things differently, like, oh, I was able to do this. I understood this when I don't drink. So for example, I worked with a client. She's like, I really feel like a lot of FOMO, which is so, 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 so normal. And I really want to normalize a lot of this too. It's normal to think these things. But the other part of us is if we think we need to have alcohol to have fun, what does that say about our experience, right? So I think it's understanding that you have been taught that alcohol maybe is fun, but is it? Is it fun waking up the next day being hungover? Is it fun not remembering the conversations? Is it fun feeling terrible? And so it's not the truth. It never is the truth. So rewiring the brain, it's not about just I just don't want to think about alcohol. It's truly eventually not wanting alcohol because you know that it's not really adding value. And again, you change an identity. You come into the person that actually truly doesn't want alcohol because they know that it's not going to bring them true happiness. It hasn't before. Second, what was alcohol blocking and covering? A lot of times it's a deeper, deeper thing. And I do not think it matters if you drink every day or if you drink on the weekend. There is a numbing and an escaping component to alcohol. And I am not someone that like is into AA. I've never called myself an alcoholic, but I think it's all the same. I look forward to alcohol at the end of the week because there was a little bit of growth lacking in my life. I was not miserable and happy. But when I removed alcohol, I kind of did feel a little bit like, why does this not feel better? And there were so many emotions beneath it that had nothing to do with alcohol, actually, had nothing to do with alcohol. So if you're overwhelmed or stressed and you're looking forward to alcohol, it's understanding the deeper roots of that. So as you rewire the things, you're going to learn about yourself in a much deeper way because you will find when you start working on yourself, you will want to go back to patterns or something feels really uncomfortable. And when I say patterns, you're going to want to go back to drinking because a lot of us cannot just change our environment. We live with people. We don't want to just like not have a social life or not have a life in general. We don't want to sit in our rooms and homes for hours on end because there's alcohol. So it's understanding the uncomfortable and hard emotion. And to be honest with you, a lot of our stuff is the default mode. When we remove alcohol, we still might have worried thoughts. And what we think about is just as important as what we put in our bodies, to be quite frank with you. So when people have emotional buildup and emotional things happen, they might have turned to alcohol. And again, this is a cycle that is wired into your brain as a reward system. So your nervous system, your actual whole entire brain and body think alcohol is going to do something for it. So it looks for that relief. So if you are someone at the end of a long day or on a Friday, you're so excited, your body has gotten used to it. So it's breaking that habit, but also learning about the deeper stuff underneath it. Because without learning about these things and the parts of us that want this, that don't want this, that we're confused, we will not get to the root issue. And I'm not talking that you have to heal for 14 hours and do all the things. But I'm saying that like alcohol blocks a lot. So if you think about it, I was really I drink during the week too, but I was a really big binge weekend drinker. I do this for the whole weekend, I think it's super fun, and then I felt like awful either on Sundays, Saturdays, Mondays, if not all those days. And I'd wake up and I'd be like feeling kind of like blah, make myself work out, and I would feel kind of normal halfway through the week, depending on how much I drank. And I would then give myself rules. And I want you to understand, I was in this type of mindset over and over again. If I felt uncomfortable, did I know I felt uncomfortable? Maybe, but not always, because it's really hard to know when you're, feeling hungover, trying to repair yourself, getting mad at yourself, and then getting excited for alcohol. It's like dilutes the actual things that make your life better and make your life maybe not so great. Maybe it's a habit. Maybe there's disconnection in a relationship. Maybe you're mad at yourself because your kids see you a certain way and you don't want to be like that as a showing up as a parent. And everything is a domino effect. So the more we take care of ourselves and heal ourselves and work on the things that maybe aren't helpful and the things that we actually really want, it ripples. It ripples. This work is not just about not drinking. And I really want to like emphasize that. A lot of people will be like, oh, this doesn't feel good. And they don't explore why it doesn't feel good. Once you do that, it like light bulbs will go off. I've worked with so many people that are like, oh my gosh, this makes so much more sense and why I turn to it. And then also, lastly, is when I talk about living on purpose, having more fulfillment and joy and an expansion of your life. Alcohol, like I said before, it blocks a lot. And behind me is my book, Soul Led Sobriety. I talk a whole lot about purpose because we want to live a happy life. But what happens when we're drinking is we shut down sometimes our intuition, our intuitive side. We know that drinking's not helpful. Our body feels it. And then we just shut it down and we kind of create this distrust. So when you stop drinking, you learn to trust yourself. You learn those intuitive hits that I can help you with, understand what intuition is and what you want your life to look like now that you're not drinking. Because if we just take away alcohol and we don't add anything and look for more fulfillment and look for things that are maybe there's gaps. Do you need more growth? Are you lonely? Like these are important things to explore. They're not bad, right? We look at emotions as bad or good. No, 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 no. Your emotions are like a compass. And so once you can understand, like, oh, I need more growth, right? For me, that was a huge thing, like I said before. So starting a business and doing a podcast and writing books and doing things like this. I love these things. This makes me really happy. And it gives me that good dopamine rush. I don't need alcohol for that fake dopamine anymore. It doesn't do it. And I've rewired my brain. I was a really big wine drinker, guys. I loved wine. At least I thought I loved wine, which was not true. But I told myself I loved wine. And if you believe those things, it will be very hard to not believe those things. So it's not about perfection. It's really about I'm going to try this thing, get help, do this thing, and just see where it takes me. First, trying to predict all the things. You will not be able to predict your growth journey. I can tell you that from personal experience and from the beautiful women I've worked with that have changed their entire lives because they're not drinking. You have more ability to access your intuition again. What do you want? What don't you want? And then you have that autonomy to figure that out versus chasing a buzz versus healing from a buzz. It's just an ultimate glow up. So if you are someone that truly does want help, truly does want to expand your life, you want a different life in 6 months, you want a different life in a year. And although that seems so far away, it is possible. Willpower will not work. I tried willpower and it was really difficult. And it puts you in this shame cycle where you don't really get to the root issue. You just go around and around and around. And then you feel worse. You tell yourself things that aren't true. And it never really gets to where you want to be. So I would love, love, love if you want to work with me, please reach out. I will put a way to reach out with me. And I really hope this has been helpful. And if you can understand, if you do these things, I promise you, you will think like I do. I've rewired my brain. I think if I drink again, I will never get what I want. I will never get what I want. And this is a huge change. And I know you can have this too. You can wake up clear. You can be this person that you're really proud of. And when you're really proud of yourself, like doors will open, opportunities will happen, and you will feel so good. So when you, as you age, you're going to feel like you're aging backwards and you're going to feel so fresh and like alive that you will be so excited. So I hope, again, I hope this has been helpful. And if you want to connect, I would love to talk about how we could work together in some shape or form. I have limited spots for individual there or coaching. And I also have group. All right. Thank you.